Hi children, I am Srinivasa from Sri Sai Sadbhavana School. We are already completed the 7 lessons. Now we are entering to the 8th lesson, that is our resources. What is the meaning of resources? Resources mean the things which are useful to man and used by the man. They are called as resources. They are naturally occurring. There is no any man-made resources are there. So they are all naturally occurring. So they are called as natural resources. About that we will study in this chapter. Which are the resources present in our India and how they are useful. Everything we will study one by one in this lesson. Now I will read the lesson. Page number 56. We need a number of things to survive. These are present all around us. They are our natural resources. A natural resource is something that nature gives us to use. Water, air and sunlight are important natural resources. The earth also gives us useful resources like minerals and forests. The major resources used by us are water, mineral and human resources. Yes, we need a number of things to survive. Yes, for our living we need air, water, food, shelter, clothing, medicines. Yes, everything we need. Everything is provided by the nature only. Everything was provided by the nature only. So, from where we are getting all those things? We are getting all those things from the nature. So, they are called as natural resources. Resource means the thing which are useful to us. Okay, we need a number of things to survive. These are all present all around us. Yes, all around us we can get them. They are our natural resources. A natural resource is something that nature gives us to use. Yes, nature has given us to use them. In that, which are very important, water, air and sunlight are important natural resources. Yes, very important. Water, air and sunlight. The earth also gives us useful resources like minerals and forests. Yes, after that the earth has given so many minerals and forests. The major resources used by us are water, mineral and human resources. Yes, these are the very major resources used by us are water, mineral and human resources. Next, water resources and their importance. Water is essential for all living beings. Perennial and seasonal rivers, streams, lakes, tanks, ponds, etc. together form the water resources of our country. Water is essential to sustain life on the earth. It is needed for irrigation. It is a source for fishing. It is useful for navigation. It is also used to generate power known as hydroelectric power. Yes, here water resource and their importance they have given. Water is essential for all living beings. Yes, without water we can't live. Our body consists of 70% of water. Our body consists of 70% of water. Perennial and seasonal rivers. Yes, perennial river and seasonal river. I have already explained what is the perennial and seasonal river. Perennial rivers means the rivers which are flowing throughout the year. Throughout the year, for example, Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, Satluj, they are all the perennial rivers due to the ice melts in the summer. In the summer also they are flowing. And seasonal rivers, yes, the rivers like our Kaveri, Sharavati, they are all seasonal rivers because they are flowing in the rainy season only. Streams, yes, they are also seasonal. Lakes, tanks, ponds, etc. together form the water resources of our country. Yes, these are all consists of water. They form the water resource of our country. They form the water resource of our country. Water is essential to sustain life on the earth. Yes, the scientists also telling that life starts from the water, starts in the water only. So water is very important for the survival of the life on the earth. It is needed for irrigation. What is the meaning of irrigation? Irrigation means agriculture. Yes, for the agricultural purpose as well as to grow any plants, we need water. It is a source for fishing. we get so many types of fishes in the water, in the sea water as well as in the river water. We can get so many fishes. It is useful for navigation. Yes, to travel from one place to another place, it is very easy. Cheapest means of transport. Cheapest means of transport, that is navigation. It is also used to generate power known as hydroelectric power. Yes, to produce the electricity. To produce the electricity, water is used for the generating electricity. Yes, next come to rivers. India is very important, rivers. India is very fortunate to have a large number of perennial and seasonal rivers flowing through it. River Indus and its tributaries Jhelum, Satluj, Beas, Ravi and Chenab, the Ganga and its major tributaries Yamuna, Gomati, Ghagra, Ghandak, Kosi and the Brahmaputra originate in the Himalayas and are fed by the melting ice. These are perennial or ever-flowing rivers. The perennial rivers like the peninsular rivers like Chambal, Betwa, Son, Mahanadi, Godavari, Narmada, Tapti, Krishna and Kaveri and their tributaries are fed by the monsoon rains and hence are seasonal rivers. Yes, they are now in this para they have given about the rivers. India is a very fortunate to have a large number of perennial as well as seasonal rivers flowing through it. Yes, we have so many numbers of rivers. In that we have God blessed because water is very important for the agriculture purpose, for all the purpose. So we are blessed by the water. So we have so many seasonal rivers as well as perennial rivers. I have given the names which are perennial now. River Indus and its tributaries. Tributary means the small rivers which are joining to the main river. The small rivers which are joined to the main river are called as tributaries. Okay, Jhelum, Satluj, Beas, Ravi and Chenab, the Ganga and its major tributaries Yamuna, Gomati, Ghagra, Ghandak, Kosi and the Brahmaputra originate in the Himalayas. Yes, their starting point is in Himalayas. The starting point is in Himalayas. They start like a small stream. All the small perennial rivers join them and form a big river. Okay, these are all perennial or ever-flowing rivers. Yes, they are called as perennial rivers or ever-flowing rivers. As I have already explained, in the rainy season they will flow because of the rain. In the summer season, what happens? The ice melts in the Himalaya region and that joins to the river. So the river flow in the summer season also. So they are called as perennial rivers or ever-flowing rivers. The peninsular rivers like Chambal, that means these are all the seasonal rivers. Now I am explaining. Like Chambal, Betwa, Son, Mahanadi, Godavari, Narmada, Tapti, Krishna and Kaveri and their tributaries. Yes, they have also so many tributaries fed by the monsoon rains. Yes, they flow when the monsoon starts only. They are also flowing very slowly. That means with very less water in the summer. Okay, otherwise they may dry also. If there is no water source from the hills or something, they don't even they dry. Okay, or the water stops. Flowing of water stops, but they flow in the rainy season. They are fed by the monsoon rains and hence are seasonal rivers. Next, multi-purpose projects. So now you understand what is the perennial as well as the seasonal rivers. Next we will move to multi-purpose projects. Dams are constructed across rivers. They serve many purposes. They save the water of the rivers for irrigation. They control floods in the rivers. They also produce hydroelectricity. Such dams serving many purposes are called multi-purpose projects. Some important multi-purpose projects of India are. So first we will read about the dams. Dams are constructed across rivers. Yes, if river is flowing, if the space is more, we will construct a wall against it. Wall against the flowing water. So we will store the water in a huge quantity. In a huge quantity, that place is called as dam. You know very well, in our Karnataka we have KRS dam, Tungabhadra dam, Alamatti dam. These are all the dams which are constructed against the rivers Kaveri, Kaveri, Brahmaputra, like that. Sorry, not Brahmaputra, Sharavati. Okay, so these are the dams in our Karnataka. For what purpose they are constructing this? They serve many purposes. Yes, they save the water of the rivers for irrigation. Yes, if the water is always flowing, it will join to the sea only. If you store for some places, that area becomes, the underground water becomes more, and that water is used for irrigation purpose as well as for the drinking purpose. Yes, in our KRS, from the KRS, the water is supplied to the Bangalore. Over the Bangalore city, we are using the river Kaveri. Okay. And the irrigation purpose also, they control floods in the river. Yes, if the force is more, then the floods will occur and the damage will be more. They control the floods. And they also produce hydroelectricity. Yes, I already explained that by the water we produce the electricity. In the dams we are storing the water and we will allow the water through a huge pipes to rotate the turbine, we get the electricity. Such a dam serving many purposes are called multi-purpose projects. Yes, here we have so many users, multi-users. Multi means so many users, so they are called as multi-purpose projects. Some important multi-purpose projects of India are, first one, Bakra Nangal, Satluj, Kosi River, Damodar River, Hirakud, Mahanadi River, Tungabhadra Dam for the Tungabhadra River, Nagarjuna Sagar for the river Krishna, Mettur Dam for the Kaveri. In our KRS also, we have the Kaveri River Dam, KRS. Okay, Krishna Raja Sagara Dam. So see here, they are given the Hirakud Dam. See how much of water is stored here. How much of water is stored here. Next come to canals. Rivers flow only in some areas. So channels are called canals are built to divert river water to agriculture, land for farming where there are no rivers. For example, the Indira Gandhi Canal provides water from the Bakra Dam to many areas in northwest India. Yes, everywhere there is no river. For example, in our Banerghat area or near Anekal and Bangalore, there is no river, any river. So what we are doing? We are providing some channels, are called canals. By that we are supplying the water to that areas. We are supplying the water to river water to these areas by diverting them. Diverting, that means we are changing the path of the river by using these canals. By using these canals, for example, we are supplying water from Kaveri to, that means from Mandya to Bangalore by the channels, but we are not using the channels, we are using the huge pipes. We are using the huge pipes. So for the purpose of farming, for the purpose of agriculture, as well as for the purpose of drinking, yes, we are supplying the river water. They are called canals. They are called canals. For example, the Indira Gandhi Canal provides water from the Bakra Dam to many areas in the northwest India. Yes, Thar Desert. Yes, everywhere. Now we are seeing the greenery in Thar Desert due to this canal. Indira Gandhi Canal supplies water to the Thar Desert to grow food and everything, to supply the water for the people who are living there. Okay, next come to lakes and tanks. These are large depressions in which rainwater or river water gets collected. This water is used for irrigation, drinking and fishing. Some water in the tanks also seeps through the soil and gets stored and as underground water. It can be used in the dry season when there is a scarcity of water. Wells and tube wells. Wells are dug in the ground. Underground water can be drawn out through wells and used for various purposes. Tube wells use electricity to draw underground water, mainly for use by farmers for irrigation. Yes, lakes and tanks. In some areas, the river water, these are large depressions in which rainwater or river water gets collected. Yes, if a pond-like structure is there, if it is a deep area. So when the rain water, if the rain comes, the rainwater everywhere comes and collects in some place, that is called as lakes and tanks. For every village there is a tank. We call it as tank. Okay. So these lakes and tanks are very, very important for the village purpose. Here the rainwater is stored, and this rainwater is used for the agriculture purpose as well as for the drinking water purpose. And by this fishing, everything they will do. Some water in the tanks also seeps through the soil and gets stored as underground water. Yes, the water seeps. That means it will flow through the soil and it will passes inside the soil because it cannot evaporate. So it passes through the soil, and wherever you dig the bore well, if the water is flowing, you get that water only. You get that water only has the source. Okay. For that reason only they are checking whether the water source is available here or not. Next, it can be used in the dry season when there is a scarcity of water. Yes, they dig wells also very near to the lakes and tanks. They get the water to the wells. If it is far away, they will dig the tube wells or bore wells. Next, wells and tube wells. Wells are dug in the ground. Yes, you have seen the ground wells, as well as underground water can be drawn out through wells and used for various purpose. Yes, the underground water already told, no, from the lakes and tanks, the water seeps. The water seeps. So that water can be, we take it from by the use of digging the wells as well as the tube wells. By digging the wells as well as the tube wells. Tube wells use electricity to draw underground water mainly for used by farmers for irrigation. Yes, here they are using this for the irrigation purpose. Irrigation means agriculture purpose. Yes, everywhere, wherever the land is there for agriculture purpose, they dig a bore well or tube well. By that, by using the electricity, they will take the water to the top and they will use it for the irrigation purpose. Next, we will move to the mineral resources. Mineral resources. Minerals are substances which are found in rocks. Rocks contain different types of minerals. Rocks that contain a particular mineral in large quantity are called ores. Minerals are classified into metallic, non-metallic and fuel minerals. Metallic minerals give us metals like iron, copper, gold, manganese, silver and mica. Limestone, gypsum and precious stones are non-metallic minerals. Fuel minerals like coal, petroleum are used as fuel. Chota Nagpur and the Deccan Plateau of India are very rich in mineral deposits. Mineral deposits. Yes, what is this mineral resources? Minerals are substances which are found in rocks. On the earth, in the rocks, the minerals are present. So what we will do, we will cut them and we will, using some chemical process, we will filter them. Rocks contain different types of minerals. Rocks that contain a particular mineral in a large quantity are called ores. Yes, the minerals which are contained in a large quantity, that means in more quantity, are called as ores. By that ore, if you filter it, you will get the mineral. For example, minerals are classified into metallic, non-metallic and fuel minerals. Yes, there are three types of minerals: metallic, non-metallic and fuel minerals. Metallic minerals give us metals. Yes, by the metallic minerals we get metals like iron, copper, gold, manganese, silver and mica. Limestone, gypsum and precious stones are non-metallic minerals. Okay. Silver and mica, up to silver and mica, it is metallic. Limestone, gypsum and precious stones are non-metallic minerals. Limestone, for the purpose of whitewash and everything we are using, or we are using for the putting that pan. Okay. Fuel minerals, that means for the purpose of fuel, what we are using is like coal, petroleum are used as fuel. Chota Nagpur and the Deccan Plateau of India are very rich in mineral deposits. Yes, Chota Nagpur as well as the Deccan Plateau of India are very rich in mineral deposits. They are given the minerals, use of minerals, where they are found. I will read, just to look at iron, where we are using for machines, houses, automobile, ships, everywhere railways, everywhere we are using the iron. That is for in our house construction, for the mold purpose, for the windows, everywhere we are using the iron. Machineries, all the machines are made of iron. Next, automobiles, vehicles, ships, railways, yes, everything, buses, everything are constructed by this iron. Where we find this one? Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka. Yes, in Karnataka, Kudremukh. It is very, very famous for iron ore. Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Goa, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, here we get the iron. Next, manganese. For which purpose we are using steel, bleaching powder, enamel and glass, this manganese is used. Where it is found? Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. Limestone, it is used for the purpose of cement. Yes, for the manufacture of cement. Where we are using the cement for the construction of houses. Steel, fertilizer and paper, they use this limestone. Where it is found? Gujarat, Rajasthan, Bihar, Odisha, Jharkhand and Madhya Pradesh. In these states we will get this limestone. Next, come to gypsum. This is also used as a fertilizer as well as the used in the cement. Gujarat, Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu, this gypsum is found out. Silver, ornaments and photography, yes, for the ornaments. See, this is this is also silver. And ladies also wearing this shine, everything, that is also silver. Where we will get? Rajasthan. For the photography purpose also this silver is used. Gold for using for ornament, that is Karnataka and Rajasthan. In Karnataka, Hatti gold mines, we will get this gold. Before that, before the independence and everything, up to for several years, we are getting in the KGF, Kolar gold field. Next, mica, electrical insulator. It is used in the electrical insulators for the purpose of the switches, boards and everything. That is found in Bihar, Andhra Pradesh and Rajasthan. Copper is used for the utensils, making your utensils in your home. That is electric wires, tools, etc. Bihar and Rajasthan. Coal, fuel and to produce thermal power for electricity. That is, coal is used as a fuel for the trains and everything they are using. Before that, they are using for the buses also. After that, finding the diesel engine, the coal engines have gone. So now they are used to produce thermal power electricity. Where it is found? Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha and Madhya Pradesh. Next, petroleum. This is very, very important fuel. For all the purpose we are using petrol, diesel, kerosene, for the aeroplanes, gasoline, everything is produced by this petroleum. Fuel for automobiles, cooking gas. Yes, for the cooking gas in our home also we are using as a cooking gas. Assam, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, here we will get these resources. Next we will continue the human resources in the next class. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.